Michael, what do you want me to tell him? He's calling you, you're not answering. He's gonna call me. I guarantee you.
Okay.
I'm gonna come over here.
All right. Got her. Oh, don't blow on it.
Should I redo it?
Yeah, I think you'd be all right.
I should probably redo it.
Should, if you want 100% accurate,
Right.
don't blow on it, just wave it through the air. Because your mouth, it does have a lot of bacteria in it, and it can just, that little bit of mist will just blow right on there. I'm going to hold your finger while you do that. There we go. That's a little better.
Don't touch the wound.
What's that?
Don't touch the wound.
Which wound?
The hole. You're not, right,
Which hole?
right there, that hole. It's coming up.
Oh, I need that blood though.
Right.
Okay, man, we got a lot less this time. This will definitely work. Now real still. There we go. Now you can put that on there, seal it up. Oh, baby. Woo! See now how it goes out? Went out all the way around, so we got a good one. We got a good one. As long as I got those gloves on, I'll pick up that little bloody gauzy stain and put that on. There we go. All right. This is definitely going to be better. At least we got a good spread on it. Ooh, look at that. Still got that oil just going right over top of everything.
You have to do it again?
No. I just gotta get underneath the oil where I can, there we go. There we go. And this is right smack dead center, and you don't have all that clumpiness and got a little air bubble there, but I don't think we're gonna have too many of those. Like I said, I'd rather just do this and do it right than try to guess at it. All right, so
Let's do
that's way up the top there, so let's start going back and forth here. These are all big air bubbles, they're not in your blood. Put in there when I put the blood specimen on top of the slide to spread it. And this is always going to get clumpy because this cover slip has weight and it's going to force the blood to go out to the edges. And so when it gets out towards the edge, it's going to compact, and that's what's causing it to stick together.
Sinead,
It'll be a lot different in the middle.
put them on hold and call Linda.
I'll be right back with you in 1 second, okay? I'm sorry. Right back.
I'm a little freak over here.
No, that's all right.
I know I was going to really scare the shit out of him. I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, you don't want to do that. He's freaked out already.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, well, this is a basophil cell right here. Now, at least he's an immune system cell. It looks like a basophil cell, about the right size. They have white granules inside of it if it is. There it is. I'm still good. Anyways, this is one Actually, this isn't even a basophil. This is a phagocyte cell. It's a mono. It's actually an eosinophil. It has one lobe. That's weird. It's shining that kind of blues. Oh no. No, there it is. These are granulocytes. They just aren't fully developed yet. This is a young cell. Anyway, this is a basophil. You can see the white marbles up here. And you're only going to have a basophil about 2.5 times larger than your red blood cell. This is a perfect size. This is really, really active though for a basophil.
Is it good?
Yeah. The more active your immune system is, the better results you're going to get.
You watching, Linda?
All right. So, oops, we're going back and forth here. Look at that and see if that's got some platelets in there, or just a fragment. Well, this again is a uric acid crystal your red blood cells oxidized into, and it's not going to move, wiggle, or jiggle. It's part of it.
Which means what?
And here's another one. These aren't down below. This one's part of it. This one's down below. You can see it half in, half out. And here's an immune system cell. Looks like it's probably dead, trying to digest this. Nope, he's actually alive. He just got a little bit out here. This is just really spread out. He goes all the way up through here. He's underneath trying to eat this thing, which again is good. Like I said, the bigger cells you have, the more nucleus or phagocyte or granulocyte, whatever the nucleus.
So is that uric acid that it's trying to get?
Yeah, this is a big uric acid crystal. It hasn't even broke up yet. That's what that is.
Which means?
Which means you probably had a little bit of protein that didn't digest very quickly, and the uric acid from that protein oxidized.
So it's nothing bad.
No, it's nothing that's not out of normal for everybody to some degree or another. Definitely nothing to do with disease or illness.
It has nothing to do?
No. The only illness you'd ever get out of that is some aches and pains. And here's another one. It's much thinner, but you can see where it's starting to break and crack right here, over there. Starting to segment, but again, that's all uric acid. It's real heavy green and goldish tint. This is a basophil. It's dead. There's no movement to them. They only last about 14 to 17 days in the blood. Very seldom we ever find a wet blood cell in the bloodstream more than 21 days. Here again, you got your little bit of living yeast. This is dying off dead yeast, all this gray black stuff. This is your platelet. That's the clotting mechanism of your blood.
So what do you mean by yeast? Is that good or bad?
Candida.
Candida.
That is your candida. You're looking at what you saw in your blood test right there. That's what they identify as candida albums. Boy, this is really thin. There's not even red blood cells dead center of this thing, which is really good.
It's really good?
It is, but it would have been interesting to see if it was really that good without having taken my enzymes this morning.
Oh,
No, I had a.
but it's really good.
It's really good to have, yeah.
But I have your enzymes every day.
It's really good, yeah.
So that shows you how good the enzymes work since I've been taking them.
Right.
My sister said.
Well, now you mentioned it, I didn't even think about that on the first go around. It just didn't spread properly. But anyway, let me go right here to the middle. Well, again, it's so thin, they don't have anything in the middle. Let me go up a little bit from the middle.
That's a good thing, though.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. Better the blood, the better. Always.
Don't do any surgery or
And look at how nice and perfect, all
Are they nice?
identically the
Are they
same.
good?
Oh man, that's $1 million blood shot right there.
See, that's your stuff.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of it. All your cells are nice and charged. They got a nice waffling energy to them. There's no unevenness. There's no free radical damage. This one is parasitized. Oh, here he is. Still got the rod form in him right there. This used to be a big red blood cell.
Look at Linda.
These little bacteria buggers will suck them dry to where they're about the size of this when they get done with the red blood cell.
What is that one?
Right here.
Yeah.
This is a rod form parasite. It's a form of bacteria.
Yeah.
It'll dissolve a hole. When they're rod form, they become enzymatic and they'll dissolve holes in your red blood cell and they'll literally embed one end There's another end inside of here. If you look really, really close,
Yeah.
I've got it. I just can't. The only thing I'm going to see anyway, that's why it's swelled here a little bit. There's the other end.
Yeah.
And what he does, he'll just suck this thing dry. That used to be a big, big red blood cell. They use the fluid portion of it as a food source. And then when they get done, they get bigger, this gets smaller, and this is teeny tiny about the size of this.
So how do I get rid of that guy?
Nothing, it's common. I mean, you just don't want
Okay.
a lot of it. You don't want
He's
a
got a
lot
nice
of it.
cell, huh?
I see it a lot, almost every single
Every
part, even
single
myself,
cell.
depending on where I travel to. I'll come back and I can find that in people's blood. Do you have pets, by the way? Dogs, cats?
My mom does.
Are you around? Do you snuggle with them at all?
Not much.
Okay, because dogs go out and roll in the grass, and they pick up feces and
Mhm.
mold, and you go petting, just like I did this whole table thing a while ago.
He says
You-
I got $1 million blood looking.
Yeah, I see that.
He says really,
You
really
get
good.
better than
But
mine.
it's because
And see here, I want to show you something. You think you're worried about being sick and worrying about this and worrying about
You get
cancer.
nice immune
Let me show you
system.
how efficient your immune system is. You could easily stick 4, if not 5 of these. As big as this is going to get. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a neutrophil.
Huge.
Look at all these white little things in here. That
Right.
is candida. That's not your any part of the cell. This is the crap, the white ball stuff that's not in. And look, it's just going to carry it along and dissolve it. And you can easily stick 5, 6 of those things in there. So that's as big as it's going to get. It's fully active throughout the entire membrane and all the material inside. The little black dots are called phagocytes.
so it's good.
That's excellent.
Wow.
Excellent. I'm not kidding you. People would pay $1 million for blood like that and an immune system cell like that. This here again, this is a Ben parasite. He let go, but he got a bump here and a bump up there. A little bit of. You need to drink a little bit more fluids. These are starting to spike out on you. It's not just free radical damage. They start to come to a point that's called an echinocyte.
Yeah, because I don't drink enough fluid.
Yeah. You drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day.
No.
You need to, minimum, especially down here. In Arizona, everybody should be drinking 3/4 of their body weight in ounces of water.
So
a day.
if I'm
If you
140,
spend any amount
so
of
if I'm
time
145,
outside,
then I would have to drink,
about 110 ounces,
which is a gallon.
real close.
A gallon is what, 64?
No, 128 ounces a gallon.
Okay, so
You're
almost
just
a
10
gallon.
ounces short of a gallon.
Right.
Yeah.
A gallon every day? I will do
Every
it.
day.
I'll start. But that ain't bad though. I mean, it didn't make anything bad in there.
No. That just shows that these cells, they'll point up and they'll start actually like needle-like probes come out, and that's just proteins that are being stuck together to the red blood cells as it passes through your kidney. So it shows you're not drinking enough water to flush the proteins from your
okay.
body out of the kidneys.
So could that be causing inflammation, pain?
Well, it's funny you bring up pain. Here's a true echinocyte. See the little protein strands?
Or what's
Right
a
there.
ketocyte?
That indicates dehydration. And you
Okay.
can see the proteins sticking to the surface
Right.
that don't.
So if you
show
are
the bones.
dehydrated, you are going to have some pain because you're not well.
Well, you're not circulating properly.
Right.
Yeah, and if you can't transfer oxygen, what's the cause of pain? Lack of oxygen. So if you're
Lack of
slowing circulation of blood, you're also slowing circulation of oxygen, what's going to be low-grade aches and pains. Yeah.
And
Huh?
what time is it?
Oh, it's
It's about 10 minutes to
4:05.
4.
I'm gonna go.
And your candida isn't near as bad as what you think. You had a 1, it's probably minimal. It's just here, it's there, it's not everywhere. It's not even a whole bunch to worry about. Got a little bit here, but
You done with this
you're not
now?
loaded with it. I don't think it'll affect your energy levels much, but again, that is an oxygen factor. This will deplete oxygen in your blood. So when you have less oxygen in your blood, what are you going to have in your body? More aches and pains.
Say that again?
This is an oxygen factor. This can affect the levels of oxygen in your blood and make
Okay.
it less. It's like hooking up a vacuum
what's that
cleaner and
called?
just sucking it. What? This
that
is the
can-
this is a candida.
Okay.
This is your candida. This one right here.
Okay.
And that actually causes less oxygen in the blood, which definitely can cause some aches and pains. And then if you clump your blood because of poor protein digestion, so you're inhibiting the circulation, now you double, triple the factor of pain and aches and circulating problems. But this all looks really good. I mean, you got a little bit of spicular stress. There's a little bit of protein linkage, a little bit of ballooning right here. We call this ballooning.
For what?
Here,
Is that
looks
good?
like a little balloon on a string.
Yeah, but is that good?
You got that stress
No.
in there, huh?
It's not
Yeah, you
good?
got the little spicular stress strand, but it's
The
digestive
ballooning
stress
is
related.
bad?
No, it just says that there's incompletely digested proteins from your last meal or two that are coating the red membrane,
Oh,
and it's sticking to my cover slip. That's why they call it
Alright.
ballooning.
but it's not bad. It's just that I got
No,
it's
it's
protein.
very minor. Maybe I shouldn't even be pointing all this finite
No,
stuff out
Yeah,
to
No,
you.
I know, he's gonna,
No, as long as it's you think it's good though. All this
Oh, it's
stuff.
really good. There's a little bit of spicular stress strand in there, but really not that much, because when I focus on the red blood cells, it all disappears. I'd have to kind of fuzz out the red blood cells just to even get this background in focus. See how fuzzy the red blood cells?
Mhm.
So it's way down deep below the cells, and it's very minor. It's all digestive stress related, which is the most minimal amount of inflammatory stress you can have in the body. You're not going to feel it. It's just, you're going to see it more than you'll ever feel it.
Cool.
he's got better
And
cell
again,
than mine.
I don't want to go too far off of center. We're right dead center there. That's why there's nothing there. There's a little bit of free radical damage, but you're always going to get oxidative damage from our body's use of oxygen to exist and function. Calcium levels, that's your acidity alkalinity factor, really good. Right now, if you actually do you got an alkaline strip?
In my office, yeah.
Yeah, you should go in and take an alkaline strip. Right now, you'd probably be real close to a 6.75 to 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're very, very minimal acidity at all. Because you can tell that by the amount of spicular stress that you see in the background of the blood. That is an oxygenating factor as well. Inflammation is. It'll affect the oxygen.
What?
Now
Stress?
here's
Stress?
another. Yeah. Oh yeah. When you create stress, you're restricting blood vessels,
Yeah.
closing them down, so you're restricting the flow of blood. You're gonna affect oxygen levels with that. So here's your bacteria. He's big, boy. Now look at it. He's got this red blood cell all just about sucked down. Looks like a crocodile with a weird head on him.
And that's normal though.
Yeah, it's just another bacterial parasite taking advantage of your red blood cell.
Yeah, but I mean, it ain't bad. It can turn into something.
You ain't gonna notice it. Everybody's got some of that stuff going on. Your A, C, and E nutrients, those are your free radical fighting damage nutrients. They all look pretty good. You got one here, one here. This is more a chenocyte than it is a free radical.
What does a
They call it
chenocyte do?
poikilocytosis, which is the free radical damage around the membrane of the red blood cell.
What's a chenocyte?
And a chenocyte means it's a red blood cell that has proteins that are sticking from your kidney because you're not drinking enough water. You're dehydrated.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta drink. Yeah, you're right.
And like I said, your immune system is awesome. Man, it's just moving active, big as can be.
Yeah.
Good.
So definitely, if you guys got some probiotics around, you should get on some. That'd make you feel better as far as your energy goes. And your red blood cells, all your zinc levels. Zinc is the mineral that regulates the speed at which all of your immune system cells function from the nuclei material. The phagocytes, granulocytes, bradykinin proteins. Zinc is the mineral that's used to regulate that by the enzymes within the cell.
Right.
And they're all very, very active. So your zinc levels are really good. AC and E is really good. Your potassium levels are good. Your calcium levels are good. Everything seems to be really, really well. B12, folic acid. B12 is the one that forms the red blood cells in your bone marrow. And if you're B12 deficient, you'll actually have over-enlarged, which they call macrocytes, or underdeveloped. They weren't held in long enough, so they come out a third of the size, little small ones like this. So your B12 and folic acid levels are really good. These are all chenocytes. You can clearly see the spikes, and these are perfectly formed red blood cells. They just have the spikes sticking off.
And what does that mean?
Dehydrated.
Dehydrated,
Drink more
okay.
water. Drink more water.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's really good.
Other than that, it's really good. And you know, Michael, I'm only going to tell you this once. Just once. There are no disease factors in your blood.
See? There you go.
Okay?
Thank you.
I'm serious.
No, appreciate it.
I'm really serious because you got some cholesterol, some uric acid. That's going to affect your joints and stuff. It's not going to collapse an organ or spread throughout your body, making your body diseased. You don't have any of that stuff in there, and that's easy to identify. It's very easy to identify.
So
You had huge spicular stress
said I got
strain,
what?
multi-layer deep, and
how'd
all
you
that
say it? I
stuff.
got no disease factors.
There's no major disease factors in here at all. None.
There's, all right, so there's no, not, what about, there's just no disease factors.
Nope.
None, zero.
Nope.
So you
Like
have
if
three,
you
you
had
have none.
potential for cancer, you'd have all chewed up red blood cells.
Yeah.
You'd have huge, just it doesn't look like a spicular stress strand. They all come off your platelets, and it's just like a Halloween type of a.
Right.
Let me just
No,
show
I know
you.
what you're saying.
I can show you this better, easier than I can tell you. I'll take photos over the years. This gal had very, very severe breast cancer. In fact, there was a gal in North Platte, Nebraska, and she wanted to see me because she went to a doctor. Everybody told her, "Oh, you're perfectly fine."
Oh my God.
I saw this for 5 seconds, and I
Ooh.
shut off my microscope. It's the first thing I saw.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
said, "I can't help you. You need to go see a doctor and get diagnosed. Here's your platelets. Little round things, those are the platelets. These are all the growth off of a platelet."
Wow.
Wow, it's growing.
Yeah, and when you see stuff like this,
Yeah.
that's a telltale sign. You got some major, major health problems. So anyway, I
Well,
told her
what's
to go
this
see a
all-
doctor and
what's
get.
that all
No,
about?
that's
This
not
is
even
just the
close.
uric acid
That's the
crystal. You
uric
can see the
acid.
red cells below it. Hasn't hardened yet, but this is the stuff that when you get a lot of it in there, it's going to cause gout and gouty arthritis or some kind of joint inflammatory
But it's not bad.
problem.
No.
No, just from probably what you have to eat from the last couple, 2-3 days for meat, especially
Right.
the last 36 hours.
Yeah.
What was meat?
Stop repeating.
Chicken,
Chicken,
fish.
fish.
Yeah.
Fish typically won't do this, but this isn't that much, so it could. It just said that you lacked enough enzymes to digest that particular protein source.
Right.
So this little bit of uric acid was left over from whatever protein it was. It was in there long enough to start to oxidize, and it's just starting to oxidize. It would have been within the last probably 12, 24 hours.
So I got no, you said no disease factors?
Yeah, thank God
No.
we did that. So nothing to think
I
about.
do, I
No,
don't.
because no, you don't. Because like I said, you can easily see this stuff.
Right,
It looks like stuff like this.
right.
It'll jump right out at you. You don't have to go looking
Oh, wow,
for
look
it, and
at
it's
that.
everywhere.
Look at that big old thing.
Well, that's just yeast. Just take a couple more enzymes when you ever eat your protein,
Mhm.
and none of this will ever show
But
up.
that's-
This will go away.
But that's not bad to have.
No, and that's not a disease. Your gout is a condition. It's not a disease.
And I don't got though.
No, you don't. But I'm saying this is what actually creates gout in a person. If you have a heavy accumulation of oxidized uric acid in a crystal form, it's going to build up in your joints and eventually cause a disease called gout
Right.
or a condition called gout.
But I don't have a lot of that in my
No.
whole
No, you only had
spectrum.
two of those in the whole blood specimen.
That's good?
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. All it's telling you is that there's times when you consume a protein meal that your body is not adequately producing enough enzymes. You're going to have to find a way to supplement a little bit for those heavy
Right.
protein meals. That's all it says.
But by looking at the whole,
I'd give you
General
I'd
thing.
give you an A minus.
huh?
I'd give you an A minus.
Yeah.
The only thing you got to worry about is you got candida, probiotics, and you've got some uric acid. You got the enzymes. After that, being on this stuff 3 months, you won't even have any of that stuff anymore if you use it regularly.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what you're using it for, is preventative, not to try to react to something.
But as far as diseases, there's no.
Nope.
Pardon?
No, none. None.
Or how do you say no
Disease.
disease factor?
No, you can tell there's no growth off your platelets or nothing.
All right.
And then you've seen the kind of growth off the platelets telling me you got
Right.
cancer or somebody else has cancer. It's easy to see in here. Blood tests don't pick up what I look at in the way I look at blood. This gal that had this just came from a doctor. The doctor said, your blood work and your mammogram, everything's perfectly fine. And she goes, everything is not perfectly fine. She says, so I know something wrong, and I want you to see if you can figure it out. So I put up the blood,
So
turned
when
it
she
on.
did get
5 seconds later, I turned it off, and I said, you need to go see a doctor and get diagnosed. She goes, I just came from a doctor. Everything's fine. Here's my test results. Here's my labs, everything. I said, you go see a different doctor, different hospital. This is ridiculous. So I was there for 8 days from the time I saw her. She came back 5 days later, have her lab results and everything else. She was 3rd stage, going into 4th stage breast cancer. Less than a week
And they
later.
missed it.
Thank
They
God.
totally missed it.
Thank God for you.
By the way, mammograms, for all you ladies in here,
Yeah.
is only about 50% accurate half the time.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
1 out of 2 mammograms will give a false or positive reading.
Wow.
what do you do with it?
Go a lot.
You do it at whatever you want, but
Yeah.
might have more than one or have more than
Yeah.
2, 3 a
I'm
year.
not gonna expose myself.
But other than
Especially if
that,
you
I
have
got-
insurance.
Yeah.
But mine's great stuff.
Yours is better than mine, Michael. to be
Yeah,
honest
you're gonna
with
feel a
you.
little
got an
fatigue and
A.
tiredness. You might feel a little ache or pain here and there, but that's it. That's all this is telling me.
No disease.
Is that
No
for
disease.
age?
None.
What?
Nope.
None.
I didn't hear you.
No,
Yelling
no.
at me.
Oh well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
100% sure.
He just told you a million times.
Yeah, right, right.
Right, Mark?
And
Mike?
here it is. Seeing is believing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's right
Fits in there. I would have saw it.
And you said my immune system cells are.
Oh, your immune system's fantastic.
$1 million.
Everybody in
I
this
could've
room,
told
including
you
me,
that.
you got a better immune system than I do, probably.
That's
I'm not joking you. I mean, people would have to be on my product, that Steromax and Aloe, for 8 to 9 months to get an immune system cell activity.
But remember,
The
he's
cell
on
that's
it.
that size.
I said I've been on it.
He's
since
It's
doing
unreal.
it. Your stuff. That's
Yeah, but
why.
he had a good immune system to begin with because he's only been on my stuff a couple months.
Yeah,
You can't
he
do
said
that
it's
in a couple
fantastic.
months.
Yeah.
You might double
I
it,
know.
but you're not going to 4 or 5 times enlarge that cell.
That's
to where-
awesome, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry
I'm
about.
excited, but
Yeah.
Let's see if you can
Yeah.
beat me in golf.
No diseases.
No diseases, right?
None.
100% sure.
1000%.
None. I bet you don't even get a common cold or flu much, do you?
He doesn't.
Boom.
He
Never.
doesn't.
He
He's
doesn't.
healthy.
Boom. Did you hear
I'm
that?
just
One more
telling you, all
time.
of
No
this-
diseases.
All the stuff
100%
that's going on in the
sure.
back of your head, let it
1000%.
go.
What's
Let
that?
it go.
All the stuff that's going on in the back
Yeah,
of your
right, right.
head, that little
Go.
whispering voice, and let it go. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not here,
Right.
and you
Tell
don't
us
want
your
to
rough.
create it.
No.
And he
Thoughts
took
create
a
the
closer
reality
look,
in
so
life
see?
you live
Right.
through, so
Oh, I
just
mean, this
let
is
it go.
Yeah,
best
this
blood
is
test
like
you can have.
accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate. And
This
you
is
And
have
it's
him here.
100% accurate. You don't have stains, you don't have chemicals, it's not refrigerated and then sent off to a lab to
Right.
be analyzed.
Right, it's
This
fresh
is living
here.
Did it
blood right
yourself.
on your finger. It's the most accurate
You
blood
watched
test
it?
you could ever do. Because the blood test you get from your doctor can be flawed by as much as 70%.
Wow.
That much?
No, 70% accurate. It can be over 35% flawed.
You know how many times I've had to go back to retake a blood test because
Right.
I have to go to a
Yep.
clinic thing
Yeah.
and they can't do it right there. I've had to go back because it's been tampered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what's the word? Tampered, right?
Tempered.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been compromised is the
too.
better word.
Compromised, that's
yeah,
it.
because they had to add chemicals in order to count certain cells. They have to add chemicals, and all these chemicals are destructive to the blood the instant it hits the blood specimen. So they try to come up with, well, we'll compensate this way 25%. Well, it really only affects, we think, maybe 15% on this part. And so a lot of what you get back aren't even the numbers that were measured. They're compensated numbers. This, fully accurate. And I can look at a blood spell, just a little blood, and within 15, 20 minutes, I could tell you everything you ever wanted to know about your life, and probably
Wow.
more than what you wanted to hear.
Right.
I don't want to hear mine. It's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Mine would be bad.
Or just like black.
Does anybody else want their blood done?
Mine
No.
doesn't have a major
not?
disease
What's
either,
that?
right? On mine.
No, you just got a lot of candida in
Oh,
yours.
very bad.
You know what?
Mine's gonna be bad because of my blood pressure.
Candida, it'll affect your
Doesn't
energy
hurt.
levels.
Do you have high blood pressure?
It'll be up and down.
Yes,
sluggish,
I
up
do.
and
I
down,
like
up
sugar.
and
I do.
down.
It's time to
That's why I got
go.
so much too.
You don't think it's worth
Huh?
That's why you got so much too. Sugar's
Do it.
the only thing that feeds
Do it.
candida.
Well,
Can't exist without sugar.
I'm feeding you with fuzz.
Yeah.
Can I
feeling
stop
the
this
friend.
already?
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
Call it
FOS.
feeling the friend.
Sinead's
So
gonna
it's
do
not
it
good
as
if
long as
I
you're
get
here.
that fuzz, FOS?
FOS is a different type of a sugar than